Hello everyone, would you like to introduce yourselves? My name's Cassidy and this little bear here's name's Mr. W.
Hi, I'm Mr. W. And I'm Abby and I'm Cassidy's mom. And today we wanted to do a Sunday school activity and lesson with everyone. We kind of missed doing that going to church, so we thought we'd try something brand new and do it via a recording. So today we just thought we'd go through some of the typical activities we would do during a Sunday school time. So Cassidy, are you going to tell us a little bit about what we're going to do?
So first, we're going to say hi to everyone we want after so right now we're going to say hi. So hi.
Who do you want to say hi to, Cassidy?
Probably all my friends at church and my friends at school. Hi Ben, hi Luke, hi Evie.
And I wanted to say a special hi to all the people we miss at our Wednesday night dinners and kids club and Sunday school mornings and 11 o'clock church service mornings. Do you want to say hi to anyone, Mr. W?
No.
We also really want to encourage everyone to participate in this. The exciting thing about the video is adults can do Sunday school, kids, and you guys can do it together. We want this to be a conversation and interactive with us and you, but also everyone who's in their house right now doing the shelter in place. All right, so Cassidy, how about you tell us what all we're going to do just briefly?
Right now I'm going to read Jesus Calms the Storm, Luke chapter 8, verse 22 through 25. One day Jesus and his disciples let us go over the other side of the lake. So they got in a boat and set out to sail. They sailed. Jesus fell asleep. A squall came down on the lake, and so that the boat was being swamped, and they were in great danger. The disciples went and woke him, saying, "Master, Master, we're going to drown." He got up and rubbed and rumbled the wind, and the wind raging waters. The storm subsided, and all was calm. "Where is your faith?" he asked the disciples. In fear and amazement, they asked one another, "Who is this? Who is he?" They commanded. "Even the wind and the water obey him." So that's the story. Would you like to share anything, Mother or Mr. W?
No, you did a great job, Cassie.
Thank you.
So now we're going to do our next activity, which is to do some interaction. Cassie is going to act out the story for us. So just 1 minute. Well, thank you, Cassidy, for reading the Bible story. And now we're going to have an opportunity for everyone to participate in acting out the story. First, I'm going to read it, and Cassie's going to demonstrate some actions that you can do. And then we're going to ask everyone to get up as you're able, and we're going to do an echo telling of the Bible story where I will read it, and then you'll say it back, and you can say it back with the actions. But first, we'll just go through the Bible story, and Cassie will show you a little bit about what we're talking about.
Well, thank you. I was so happy to do that. I just have a question for Mr. W. Would you like to be a part of the acting?
I will sit right. Where do you want me?
How about I'll just keep you right there?
All right. Okay, Cassidy, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to act while I read it.
Yes.
One day, Jesus and his friends got into a boat and set sail across the lake. Suddenly, a huge storm came up.
Bang, bang.
And the wind began to blow. And the waves got bigger and bigger and bigger. And they were crashing into the boat. And they were afraid they were going to sink. But where was Jesus? He was asleep at the end of the boat. "Wake up, Jesus! We are going to die! Don't you care?" And Jesus stood up, and he said to the wind, "Be still." And he said to the waves, "Be calm." And the wind was still, and the waves were calm. And Jesus said, "Why were you afraid? Don't you have faith in me?" His friends were scared. "Who is this man that even the wind and the waves obey him?" Thank you, Cassidy.
You're welcome.
All right, so Cassie just demonstrated some of the actions you can do for the Bible story. And now we want everyone to get up and participate with her. We're going to do an echo where I will give you the first verse and then you'll repeat it back with the actions. Are you ready, Cassidy?
Yes, I am.
Okay, everyone else ready? Get up and join Cassidy. All right. One day, Jesus and his friends got into a boat.
One day, Jesus and his friends got into a boat
and set sail across the lake. Suddenly, a huge storm came up. The wind began to blow. And the waves got bigger and bigger and bigger. And they were crashing into the boat. And they were going to sink. But where was Jesus? He was asleep at the end of the boat. Wake up, Jesus! We are going to die! Don't you care? And Jesus stood up. And he said to the wind, "Be still." And he said to the waves, "Be calm." And the wind was still. And the waves were calm. Jesus said, "Why were you afraid? Don't you have faith in me?" His friends were scared. Who is this man that even the wind and the waves obey him? Well, we hope you enjoyed acting out the Bible verse with us. And what we really like to do when we do Sunday school is combine some of the Bible story with questions and activities such as crafts and drawing. Today we've decided to do a drawing activity. Cassidy has already started on it. But for those of you that haven't gotten your supplies yet, why don't you go ahead and do that now? Can you tell them what they need, Cassidy?
You can use markers. You need markers, paper, something to draw your outline with, tape or glue, scissors if you would like to cut it out. If you have little ones with you, I would highly suggest not to cut it out.
Yeah, so there's a couple variations you can use, but why don't you pause it for a minute and just get some of the basic supplies and then come back.
And crayons.
We'll do this together. All right, so now that you're back with your supplies, we're gonna go ahead and draw a boat. And you wanna make the boat pretty big, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk a little bit about our feelings and experiences and put them in that boat during the storm. So Cassidy, will you Dad will video what she's drawn is a really great boat. And then we want to draw the sky around it.
I love to draw.
And we're gonna draw the sky after Jesus has calmed the storm. So you wanna think of a boat that's just been through a really scary time and draw that boat, and then you wanna draw the sky that you see on a calm day.
And it doesn't have to be like realistic, because my son's tan and my mom's boat's purple.
Right. There's no right or wrong here. Just have fun drawing. Those are my birds. And I'll draw some waves for perspective. So everyone can do this. And if you have little ones, you can help them with their drawings.
Please don't use scissors if you have children under 3.
So I have a question. Why do you think we chose this story for today, Cassidy? The title of the story is Jesus Calms the Storm.
if you have your ideas, you can put them in the comments below. Well, I know why, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. Well, since for those of you who are in lockdown, it's a really scary time for some of us because some of us have like grandmas, great-grandpas, and those people, and they're in the risk zone, so me and my mom thought it would just be a good idea to do that, and then you can maybe send it to them. So,
yeah, I think for everyone, this is just a different time. If you live in Montana, we got the lockdown officially on Saturday, and that's actually the day we had planned to do this activity. So there's a lot of feelings that come about with a lockdown or when you're in a pandemic. And we thought we'd talk about storms, because where we're in right now, I feel a little bit like those people on the boat. Do they have a lot of feelings swirling around?
yes.
Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna drown, somebody help us, right? And so I think we all have some feelings like that. So after you're done, go ahead.
Like me, I signed up for audition at Grand Street, and then they canceled it, and then so me and my friend were really sad. So,
and that's exactly what we want to talk about and to have you guys think about as you do this activity is, what are you feeling right now? And that's the next piece. You can start either in your boat putting those feelings. Cassie's going to demonstrate that you can draw those feelings as pictures. If there's you want to write them out, you can write them out. If you don't know how to spell them, you don't have to worry. This is just for you. Or you can have an adult help you. You can also take a separate piece of paper and write them out on the separate piece of paper and then cut them and put them on your picture of the boat. So take some time to finish your picture. You can color it in, and then you want to start writing out those words. So think of a few things you're feeling right now.
And you can use any type of font. Like, see how I did bubble print or whatever you guys call that for stress. So you can use any type of font.
Yep, so how about you write a few more? Can you draw a picture too, Cassie, to show them what that looks like? So just think a little bit about how you're feeling. It's okay to have feelings like those people in the boat did when there's things happening that you can't control. These are all normal feelings that we're probably having right now. So some of what I'm writing, Cassidy, is I feel a little cooped up, overwhelmed, afraid, nervous. Do I ever get a little nervous sometimes?
Yes.
All right. So let's keep thinking. What do you have in your boat?
I have sad, stressed, mad, and happy.
Okay.
And why I'm happy is because I actually like spending time here because we have dogs, so I just get to spend more time with the dogs.
Right. Not all of these things are bad. That's a really good point. So we can have lots of different feelings, and some of them can be feelings that we like and enjoy, and some of them can be feelings maybe that we don't enjoy so much. So what are the feelings you have in your boat that you like?
Probably happy and fun.
Fun. And what are the feelings that are maybe feelings that aren't so comfortable, that you don't like as much?
Mad.
Yep, mad.
And sad.
All right. And so I put my feelings on a piece of paper, and then if you want, you can either write them in your boat, or you can, if you put them on a paper, you just cut them out. And just like Cassidy said, if you don't want your kiddos using scissors, you could help them out with this. Sometimes I think it's good to write things out and put them somewhere. So for me, it helps me to write out my feelings, acknowledge them, and then go ahead and just put them in this boat.
And what I also like about this is you can actually tape them, and then as you have more feelings, you can rip the tape off and then put new tape in.
Yeah, this can be an interactive activity you do throughout the day because, you know, I think every day our feelings change. Some days we might be having fun and excited by this new way of living. Other days we might get sad. It just can be an ever-changing process. But the idea here is that we've put our feelings in the boat. The next thing I want you to do that's really important is to think about ways that we can calm that storm just like Jesus did. Because God and Jesus give us so many resources to help us calm those storms. So the next thing I want you to do, and you can write it in your skyline that you created that was a calm day, or you can take your piece of paper, is to think of things you do, you maybe already are doing them, or there are things you can do that will help you feel like you can do something to help with those feelings. So Cassie, what do you do when you feel stressed that helps?
I smell something or I hug Mr. W.
All right, so are you going to write out hug?
Like earlier, before we were streaming this, I got a little nervous.
Can you talk about that? Yeah. You got nervous. And what was your idea?
And I just got Mr. W from my bedroom and I hugged and cried for a little bit.
So you can hug your loved ones, your stuffed animals, and you can cry. And that's okay too, right?
Yeah.
Because it's good to let those feelings out. And tell me more about smell. What does that mean?
So I have this little stick that smells like, I have this that smells like kiwi, or it doesn't really smell like kiwi, and when I'm stressed I just smell it, and that usually loosens up my...
Sometimes there are smells that help us feel more comforted. All right, so think for a couple minutes about ideas you have that help you feel better, and I'm going to add to the list as well. So for me, I like to breathe, take a deep breath. Can do a pray. Every night now I am usually doing a prayer, and sometimes in the morning, remember how I told you I sent a prayer to the state capitol to help our leaders lead us through these different times and scary times. Gosh, I had a bunch of ideas this morning and now I'm forgetting all of them. What else have we been doing? You can try something new. That's what this video is for us, and it's helping us calm the storm.
Well, we don't know if it is.
I'm going to write some of the things we've been doing this week to help calm our storm in the house. Cassidy, what have you been doing every day or almost every day? And have you been writing cards to send to people we love? Any other ideas of things you've been doing?
I've been doing homeschooling, which has helped.
Okay. Anything in particular? Any ideas about what it is about that? Do you like Zooming your classmates?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just want you to take a couple minutes to think what things help you out.
And you can take a picture and put it in the chat below.
Yeah, so as you're working on this, you can write those ideas out, and then you can cut them out and put them on your boat picture. So we're going to take a couple minutes to do that, and you can work on that as well. So as you can see, we just took a couple minutes and finished our pictures. And you can really do whatever you want here. You can get as creative and colorful as you want. And like Cassie said, you could do this every few days and change out what's in there, because I think we'll all have different feelings and different ideas each day we live in this kind of new, strange world. So here's my finished. Oh, go ahead. Can you talk about it a little? But I want you to look at them.
I just figured out something that, so the way me and my mom did it is, look, it's a flap. So maybe like try something new. You could have, like every week you could write like something like I did. I wrote a card for the very first time. So I just figured that out. Well,
yeah, that's kind of a fun way. And like you said, you could take things off. But the idea is you put those feelings in the boat, and around you is that calm storm of things you can do that connect you to a calming sense to help you get through all those different emotions you're having. So Cassidy, do you want to just share any of the things on your picture before we wrap up?
Sure. Well, I've been writing cards to my teachers, my grandma, and a bunch of other people. Dang it, I forgot FaceTiming. Well, I've been FaceTiming, and that's all I really want to share.
All right, and when I start to feel overwhelmed, I like to, I've thought about writing in a journal. Like I said, I've been doing some prayer. Cassidy and I have both been trying new things. That keeps our energy and focus on things that are positive in our lives. And I do a lot of deep breathing to calm myself. So the last thing we wanted to do was just share a way you could use this in a prayer. One idea is just to talk to God and have a conversation with God about what you're feeling, and then kind of ask for His strength and His guidance in trying those things that can help you calm the storm. The other thing you could do is hand those feelings off to God, because He's there to help guide us and to release us from our fears as we're going through these difficult times. So you can choose how to use some of what you did here in your craft to help you pray. All right, so let's just take a moment. You're going to get Mr. W, and we'll close today with a prayer. Dear God, thank you so much for being in my life and watching over me and Cassidy and the people that I love and the people that are watching and the people that are out there in the healthcare industry working so hard to keep our country and our world safe. Please be with the families of those affected by COVID in any way and in any shape you can. And be with me as I feel all of these different feelings. Every day there's new feelings and different feelings. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed, sometimes I'm nervous, sometimes I'm afraid, sometimes I feel cooped up. And help guide me in trying new things and new ways to acknowledge those feelings and then move through them so I can create a calm environment in my house, in my backyard, in my neighborhood to help me navigate through that. This coming week, may I take the time I need to journal and meditate and breathe and pray and help work through all those feelings. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Would you like to say goodbye to everyone, Mr. W? Bye.
So we thank you for joining us for our first Sunday school activity. And please, I think everyone at St. Paul's would love to see what you do with this activity. You could post your boats and your storms. You can share your ideas for things you're doing to help calm those storms. And we'll see you again. Bye.
And let us know if you want us to do it every week or every other week in the chat below.
All right. Have a great day. Goodbye.